Friends, today we will be discussing a very important article that appeared in today's Hindu, and the article is Ambedkar and the Pune Pact. It refers to the famous Pune Pact that was signed between B.A. Ambedkar and Madan Mohan Malviya ji, who represented the upper class Hindus, and B.A. Ambedkar represented the depressed Hindus. So, a little bit background about the Communal Award. So, Communal Award was announced on August 1932 by British Prime Minister Ramsay MacDonald, and by this act, 71 seats were reserved in the central legislature for the depressed class Hindus. And by this act also, the Europeans, the Muslims and the Sikhs were also to have separate electorates. And Gandhiji thought that it is a ploy by the British to divide the Hindus into the upper and lower classes. And to protest against that, he undertook a fast unto that in the Yeroda jail. So a pact was signed between B.R. Ambedkar and Madan Mohan Malviya ji, who represented Gandhiji in late September 1932, to prevent Gandhiji from continuing his fast. So, uh, and this famous pact is known as the Pune Pact, and this Pune Pact has far-reaching ramifications even today. And the much of the reservations we see in a constitution is can be said to be an offshoot of the famous Pune Pact that was signed in September 1932. So let's dig a little bit more about this act. Now, friends, what was the outcome of the Pune Pact? So, by this Pune Pact between Gandhiji and Ambedkar, it was resolved that around 147 seats will be reserved for the depressed classes in the central legislature. So it was almost the twice as much, more than twice the seats like what Ramsay MacDonald has proposed. He proposed to reserve 71 seats in the central legislature, but by the Pune Pact, Ambedkar achieved reservation of almost 147 seats for the depressed classes in the central legislature. And besides that, it also assured a fair representation of the depressed classes in the public services, and also a subsequent portion of the education grant should be made for the upliftment of the depressed classes. So these were some of the conditions that were announced in the Pune Pact. The Pune Pact is also said to be an acceptance by the upper classes Hindus about this condition that the lower class section of the Hindu society were indeed a discriminated lot, and it also considered that something concrete or something effective needs to be done for their upliftment as well as giving them a political voice. So by the Pune Pact, an official acceptance has been given by the upper classes Hindus that the depressed classes or the lower classes among the Hindu society were indeed backward, and they needed some government assistance, or they needed extra protective measures to uplift them from their backwardness. And it is also said this Pune Pact was a precursor, or it was a beginning of like the affirmative program launched, like the reservation that was launched in our constitution after India achieved independence. So and also a slew of measures, like some lot of measures were taken in the constitution for the special upliftment of the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes in India. And these reservations and these special measures are still seen today in a constitution, like the reservation of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes in different jobs, and also the earmarking of the tribal areas, and a reservation of tribal belts as backward areas, and also providing separate grants under the central special grants on the central government assistance to for their upliftment and their improvement. Well, some sociologists like Pierre Anderson and writers like Arundhati Roy, writers and thinkers like Arundhati Roy, they argue that Gandhiji, through his fast unto that, coerced, or he forced Ambedkar to come to a settlement, or further he forced Ambedkar to come to negotiation by the Pune Pact. But Ambedkar, after some years later, denounced the statement, and he said that he did it on his own will, and not because he was forced by Gandhiji's fast unto that. So by Ambedkar's statement, he went for the negotiations only out of respect for Gandhiji and out of his own will, neither nor because he was forced to do so. Right. The writer also says that Ambedkar won't have signed the Pune Pact without considering its pros and cons and its far-reaching consequences. And at a time when Muhammad Ali Jinnah's aggressive mission of separation was lurking the country in a great way, so Ambedkar wouldn't have signed the Pune Pact without measuring its far-reaching consequences. So it is argued that the Pune Pact was a and well taken measure or well thought of understanding that was agreed upon by Ambedkar with Gandhiji. Now, friends, let's see what were the positive outcomes of the Pune Pact. So, the Pune Pact had several positive outcomes. The number one, it sealed, it endorsed the leadership of the Ambedkar, B.R. Ambedkar ji, as the leader of the depressed classes across India. So, this is for the first time Ambedkar was taken or was officially he was made to be the leader of the depressed classes throughout India, and he made the entire country and not just Congress party. He made by this pact the Congress party and the entire country responsible for the uplift of the depressed classes. From the pact, the Pune Pact made it officially binding on the upper classes and the citizens of the country to work or to be morally binding for the upliftment of the depressed classes. And uh, and this pact made the depressed classes a formidable political force in India, and for the first time in the history. So the three positive outcomes are it officially made B.R. Ambedkar as the leader of the depressed classes in India, and number two, it made the entire country, mostly the upper classes Hindus and the Congress, morally and officially responsible for the upliftment of the depressed classes, and it succeeded in making the depressed classes a formidable power, political force, for the first time in the history of India. B.R. Ambedkar, in his 1943 address to mark the 101 first celebration of Mahadev Govind Ranede's birthday, has said that he was neither looking for a perfect solution by the Pune Pact. What he was looking was a settlement of some sort. Means he was at a time just looking for some agreement so that he could save the life of Gandhiji, and also uh, at to the face of Congress party, while giving a voice or big voice for the depressed classes. Means he was salvaging Gandhiji's life by this Pune Pact, and also he was saving the face, or he was saving the grace and saving the moral position of Congress party, as well as he wanted to give a big voice, or he wanted to give a formidable voice for the depressed classes in India. So, and the writer says that on his 129th birth year, this day, like April 14th, today, so we need to remember Ambedkar ji, not because of his drafting the constitution, but also because of the Pune Pact. And this was also an important historical moment for which Ambedkar ji needs to be credited, and he needs to be remembered. So this was all about Ambedkar and the Pune Pact. Hope you enjoyed. If you enjoy, please write in the comment section, and you can subscribe to my channel. Thank you.